Hey there, welcome to Mundelein Minute. And this is episode number up there in the corner. And
Who are you?
I'm Eric Schwenk. I'm a trustee in the village of Mundelein. Who are you?
I'm Carol Lambert, also trustee here in Mundelein.
And just a little caveat that we are in my house with my cameras and microphones, and no taxpayer dollars were used in the distribution or creation of this podcast.
But
And
it could be noisy.
it could be noisy. There's a dishwasher running above us. Awesome timing. There's my wife, and there's kids here, and a bird, and three cats, and
Luca is right here.
Luca is just off camera.
Being
So
rocked by my foot. So
being
if you
rocked,
hear
yep.
some baby noises, that's what it is.
if you hear baby noises, he's been grunting this morning. So if you hear grunting in the microphones, that's
what it is.
that's what's going on. So we're here to talk about the village board meeting, the first one of this new session, if you will.
This is crazy.
I know.
So crazy.
4 years down.
4 years down.
4 years to go. And
I just thought about the last time that Theo was 2 at that board meeting.
I was thinking about it last night because we went back to see what the swearing in was like.
Yes.
And I watched Theo run up, and
God.
and now you have another little one.
Who was well behaved and sat in his seat.
Right. So
And there's the difference between boys and girls.
I was sitting there, watching you be sworn in, and I looked over to see if Kiki was going to run up or not, and she didn't.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh. Excuse me.
All right. So we're talking about last night's board meeting.
Yeah.
We did our attendance, and then we did our swearing in.
Yep.
And it was us, and then Robin Meier joined the board.
Yep.
And then we did attendance again, and then on to the rest of the meeting. So
The 9 swearing-ins that happened last night.
that's what the mayor said. 9 swearing in. So we did the approval of minutes. There's actually a lot of people there, as is pretty normal whenever we do anything with swearing in of the fire department, or even the police
They
department.
are a family.
They do, and they show up, and it's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, with all the people that were there,
No
no
public
public
commentary.
commentary, and I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Kind of surprised my son didn't get up and do some public commentary, but he refrained.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. And then the star of the show, Millie, and
Sweet little.
even the Daily Herald has an article out this morning about Millie. I haven't read it yet.
So cute.
I know, she is so adorable. She's a 11-week-old golden retriever
She,
who
like,
is joining the
fluffy.
police department and will be a comfort dog for our social worker.
I love it.
And I absolutely think it's
The
great.
best. You know what I thought was great? Paid for by the Citizens Police Academy
Yep.
alumni.
Yep.
So great. So.
Yeah. And I actually said something to our assistant village administrator, Peter Vadopoulos, and I was like, man, I feel better already, Peter. Like,
Me too. She should come to every board meeting.
exactly. Yeah. I know. I just want to get on the floor
I
and
wanted to,
play.
Snuggle.
Yeah,
You could
exactly.
see people in the audience be like, come here. She was so cute.
Okay, so Millie stole the show, and then after that,
And then what else happened? I don't really know.
Yeah, then
I
there
don't
was
know. Who cares?
there was a board meeting.
Whatever.
No public hearings. So under the mayor's report, he had a lot of stuff.
Good Lord, he was
He-
him and the clerk last night were having.
They
a
were
busy
very
night.
busy. So he issued 2 mayoral proclamation, one for Public Works Week and one for Provider Appreciation Day, and then it was into the swearing ins.
Whew.
So the swearing ins. Let's see. We did a swearing in for Jeremy Lockwood as
New deputy chief.
Deputy Fire Chief. Yep. Gil Rubio was Battalion Chief. Jackie Stone as Lieutenant.
Yes.
Yeah.
My favorite part of all those is watching the little kids try to pin on the badges.
Yes.
So cute.
Always the best.
The best. So.
And then we did our committee assignments. It's a new term with new trustees and just a shuffle up every 2 years here. So
Where
we
are you going?
I didn't really do anything.
You didn't change anything?
Well, I moved up, I guess, on the community economic development.
But you're still finance chair.
Still finance
All
chair.
right, there we go.
Yeah.
Still public safety.
There you go.
All right, there we go.
So we did our committee assignments.
Yep.
Just a little bit of a shuffle there, as was our seating assignments, kind of shuffled a little bit.
Yeah.
And then
Did you move?
I did not.
Me neither.
Yeah. And then it was the election of the mayor pro tem.
Right.
So we do a nomination, and then we do an election, and then we do a resolution confirming the election that
Results
we
of the
just
election,
did.
Yes.
Yeah. So we elected Trustee Tim Wilson as our mayor pro tem. And then we also did some appointments of an
different organizations.
yeah, different organizations. So JAWA, the Joint Action Water Agency, we appoint somebody there. The
Which,
Lake
by
County,
the way, Steve goes to all those meetings. So like,
we
really, it's
we
just
appoint people
just in case Steve can't go.
and alternates, right?
Yeah.
But he makes
Yeah.
the majority of
Because
those.
I was the alternate last time for Jawa, and I went to one meeting because he couldn't make it. So he's pretty dedicated to those.
Well, and the same thing for pro tempore, for mayor pro tem.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you
Steve's
would
added
fill
him
in when the mayor isn't there.
Which
Is
Right.
I remember once, maybe
yes,
twice.
once I think once in our 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So then we appointed Tim Wilson again to the Lake County Convention and Visitors Bureau as our liaison, and he's actually serving on the board of directors there. And then appointed some individuals to SWALCO for the to serve there.
Solid Waste Agency. There we go.
Yes, Solid Waste Agency of Lake County.
I think Jenny was doing it before too. So
Yes, yeah, I think so. Some commission reappointments for our commissioners for different various commissions.
Thank you for volunteering.
Absolutely. And then, so those were the reappointments. There was just a list. We didn't go through all of those individually, but there was a lot of people that stuck around, and we definitely appreciate that.
Yes.
And then we appointed some new people. So
good to see new people getting involved.
Absolutely.
Like people that are like not, no offense, like the Vern Lappies of the area that are involved in everything. These are
Love you, Vern.
These are like new people.
Right.
It's good.
Yeah, we have a very dedicated group of like core individuals.
Gary Gunther, Vern, Mike Flynn.
Right.
They are like the core Mundelein group.
That they definitely
they keep
do
the
their
village
service.
Running.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's nice to have some new people to come
good.
in. And,
it was so good. I was
yep.
I was pleasantly surprised.
So we appointed Mary Rohan to the beautification committee.
Yep.
Sarah Mittiel to the Economic Development Commission, and Raymond Jackson to the Economic Development Commission. And then Sophia,
we had a motion. Oh wait,
Sophia Schneckloth to Planning and Zoning Commission.
Yes.
And then we amended the beautification committee.
Basically, we had more people that were interested, and we didn't want to tell them no. And this allows us to kind of like have working groups and subcommittees and stuff like that. So
change the number of people in the committee so that but it's a because it's a public meeting.
Right.
We have to do all this by ordinance.
Correct.
Can't just add people.
You can't. So we had people. So we have somebody in the waiting that wants to join the beautification committee, and who are we to tell people no? So we just changed how many people were there.
Right.
And since it's such a new thing, anyways, might as well.
Yep.
So yeah.
And then we repealed a section of our ordinances about accident prevention.
I know. When you read this ordinance, you're like, so you are encouraging accidents?
Right. It's like, okay, let's repeal that. And then it was onto the trustee reports. So community and economic development. We talked about this at our last board meeting. And there's a mural coming on the building adjacent to Luke's. Mm-hmm. And so we had to pass a special use permit for that. And this is one of those where it comes before the board, we discuss it, we vote on it, and then the ordinance or the special use permit.
Then they write the ordinance and we got to vote on it. Right?
Yeah, and then that comes back before the board, and then we have to vote on that. So that's what we did last night. So it was a lot less...
there was not a lot of discussion because we knew what was coming.
Right, because we did all the discussion prior.
Yep.
And then there was the North Shore Gas, and I struggled on this word during the meeting, of indemnification agreement. And it's a word I use.
You know what's funny is like during that I was like, God, I'm so glad that's not mine.
Right? And I kept like reading through this, and I was like, man, whoever wrote that sure had
really
fun.
likes that word. Really likes that word.
So there was a indemnification agreement for a wireless telecommunications tower because of where that tower could fall.
Yes.
Yeah. On to public works, and there was actually kind of a lot for public works last night.
I feel like it's the beginning of the fiscal year. That's why.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So a lot of this is stuff that we do every year, and we need to do to maintain the village.
So the first was the 2022 Lake County All Natural Hazards Mitigation Plan. And I'm chuckling
because how do you mitigate natural hazards?
Natural hazards, sure, like you know the response and what you can do, like all the drainage work.
But you can't like mitigate, like you can't like prevent them, right?
Right. But I'm snickering because we actually had a conversation during the board meeting about a few of us municipal nerds that kind of geeked out at the data and the amount of information in this document. And it is
It's a big
300
document.
pages.
Yeah.
It's a ginormous document.
Which made the
And
packet massive.
right.
Yeah.
And the first half of it is good information about the county, the natural disasters that we deal with, just everything to do with it. The second half is the each village's mitigation plan, just bullet point kind of layout. Not as exciting, but the first part is pretty interesting if municipal government's your thing. I'll move on now. Thank you.
Okay, we're just going to move right on.
So then we did a contract extension for street sweeping services, our 2023 mosquito control program.
Because it says, people sometimes ask why we waive bids.
Yeah, so
Well,
let me, because I was going to chat on all of them real quick. Contract extension and crack sealing, contract award pavement marking program. So there were 4 contract extensions or awards, and some of them we did waive bids. Oh,
he's pissed about that.
Yeah, obviously.
But explain why.
So
why,
some of this, like our crack sealing, we waived the bid to continue on with what we've already done. We're looking at other communities. We're looking to see what their recent bid prices were versus what we've already negotiated.
It's almost like a hedging game.
It is a hedging game.
You know.
And then we work with these companies and say, hey, look, keep us at the same rate. And then they go, no, we can't. And then we negotiate a smaller increase than if we went back out to the open market.
Exactly.
To begin with.
Exactly.
So some of these are 0 increases over last year's pricing, which is
crazy because
absolutely,
inflation is insane.
Yeah, they're like unbelievable. And some of them were like 4% for the crack sealing.
Which that's because of raw material.
Raw material costs, right?
Yeah.
So we go out to bid when we have to. We negotiate what we can to continue contracts that we already have in
We're
place.
going to go out to bid if we're not getting good service or we're not getting what we need, quality product, or sometimes the company will not extend the contract.
Correct. And for one, like the street sweeping one went up, but that was that contract now has fuel surcharges built into it for the price of the gas, whether it's, if it's between $4 and $4.50, then there's a 4.5% fee. If it's between, $4.50 and $5, so it's staggered so that the company has their costs, and then, the contract price itself can kind of remain somewhat the same.
Right. Stable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our nerd moment about why we sometimes don't take stuff out to bid.
Exactly.
Well, we just have been doing it a lot, and the reason we're doing it a lot is because inflation and the market is so crazy for everything. Like sometimes we do it on cars,
Correct.
All right,
correct.
We better shut up and hurry up before this kid freaks out.
Got it. So Finance Committee was a water sewer rate ordinance. So we did an increase in our water and sewer rates. We are passing that fee.
So Jawa increased our rates.
The Joint Action Water Agency, by 7%.
And we just have to pass it through because where are we going to get
and because if we were to absorb that into our coffers, if you will, our costs today, and what money the village already has, we would be eating away at the costs that the water sewer fund has, which is meant to maintain the facilities and maintain the piping and everything else that's part of that entire infrastructure and network. And what we're running into as a provider of this service is that the water usage is dropping as people are becoming more conscious or buying low flush toilets and shower heads that don't put out as much water.
Which is good.
Yeah, it's great.
But
we're also not
costs.
Right.
You have fixed costs of the facilities, fixed costs of the pipes, fixed costs of staff, that kind of thing.
Water towers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So those costs, we have to maintain that infrastructure, and unfortunately in this we had to pass that cost on to the consumer.
But we talked about it in the budget meeting. We're still in the lower end of what we charge residents for water.
Right. So next up was the and just to say on the last one, that one was Robin Meier voted no on that one.
Yeah.
So it was 4-1 for that vote.
Right.
And then the next one was 4-1 as well, with Robin Meier abstaining. It was their AT&T separated bills, and Robin has a conflict as she used to work for AT&T, and with her retirement. So she abstains from the AT&T bills. So that was $243.52. And then our payment of bills was $1,162,510.51. It'll creep up like in the back. We just approved all of the
All the
extensions,
omnibus stuff, yeah.
all the omnibus, and those costs will drive that up here shortly.
Got it.
Yep. So Public Safety Committee, we did a intergovernmental cooperation agreement
Here for that.
for the shared training simulator. So this is with the
Vernon
village,
Hills.
yeah, with
Vernon
the village
Hills
of Vernon
keeps it and then
Hills.
shares it with everyone else. Basically.
Correct.
Is that
Yeah.
how that
So
works?
it's a simulator and shared training.
Which is good. You want that because
Yeah.
not everyone needs their own thing.
Exactly. Keeps the cost down for everybody.
Yep.
And then the Chiefs report.
Nothing. Oh wait, no.
100 plus volunteers for Amazing Mundelein.
Yep. And then fire succeeded their goal on the blood drive. So what is this telling us? That Mundelein is out and like doing compassionate things. Good job, residents.
Yep. So yeah, they beat their goal by 1 unit of blood.
Hey man, a win's a win.
Yep, that's right. Nothing under the building committee, under transportation and infrastructure, AT&T utility relocation. So this is burying the power lines on, not necessarily burying the power lines, but the AT&T
the AT&T lines.
the AT&T portion and the Comcast portion. And Robin Meier abstained because of the AT&T conflict, so it was 4-1 on that one. Comcast passed unanimously. And I just wanted to comment, we didn't get to film an episode on this last board meeting.
Sorry.
So yes.
We are human.
The power lines conversation has come up, and I've heard it from people. I know you've heard it as well. Yeah. So a motion came before us at the last board meeting to bury 16 or so power lines along 176 and around the development where the homes are going
Morris
in on
Street
Seymour, the
Yep.
Morris Street,
Yep.
and around where the gas station is proposed.
Correct.
Around Thornton's.
Yep.
And this was something that the developer for Thornton's had agreed to do.
Correct.
And
we were on that team, and that was a big thing for us. Is that fine? Do it then. If you want to build it, then do it.
So I went back, and it's called out in the document that those power lines are going to be buried, and now they're saying that they can't afford it, and so I voted no.
So did I.
And it wasn't because I don't want the power lines buried.
I just want them buried by the developer who said they were going to do it.
It's not something, in my opinion, that we should be passing on to the residents of Mundelein, which is what happened here, is that the municipality, through powers granted by the state, allows us to approve power line burials to be done, and then we have ComEd bill the cost directly to the residents within the village. And it's a weird state law that was done so that municipalities can do this. Obviously, it's better to have them buried, aesthetically pleasing.
Totally, no one debates that.
Way safer.
Right, no one debates that.
The power stability is way better when things are buried.
Exactly.
It's by far the better option to do. It's just who's paying for it.
Yeah.
And this is one of those ones where I couldn't look at a ginormous corporation that's backing this real estate developer cry poor and want the residents to pay for the power lines. So I voted no.
Similar. So
I voted yes on the motions that allowed them to pay the village to bury the AT&T and Comcast portions. I'll take that money.
I'll
Thank you.
take that money.
But when it comes to the actual cost to bury the power lines,
correct,
it should be borne upon that developer who said they would.
So yes,
he gets it.
Yeah, he's right. However, with all that being said, we agree. We're on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
The cost to the resident, it's going to be roughly $36 for the time of it. So it's not a huge sum of money, so no one freak out.
Right.
I mean, $36, $36. But in principle, we shouldn't be doing it. So that's,
yes.
That's why we voted the way we voted last time.
And when it comes to this, I will say that it's also the will of the board. The board made their decision. I don't necessarily agree with how everybody voted.
Right.
That's okay. It's how this works.
The
will of the board was to move forward with it, so we will move forward with it.
And not be an obstructionist.
Correct.
Yes.
Yep. All right, so that was it. Under other reports, we had nothing. We moved on to the omnibus vote list.
Ooh, all the things.
And this is where items are expected to pass unanimously. They get put there. They're usually very, very simple things. So nothing was pulled. We had 8 items because it's the beginning of a new fiscal year. So I'll just kind of read through this real quick. Irma for our insurance. So that payment was about $24,000. Lake Holly Mundelein. This is a tax sharing agreement for $40,000. Our custodial services for $70,000. Axon body worn and fleet cameras for our police department was about $128,000. This is year 2 of a 5-year contract. La Luzerne and Smith. He's Larry La Luzerne is our counsel for the police department. He's our prosecutor, and we paid $120,000 for legal services for the police department. Starcom radio systems. This is something.
Police and fire. Use.
Yeah, police and fire for $32,500. Northern Illinois Regional
This
Crime
is just
Lab.
For the police department, but whatever.
Yeah, was $49,000, and then Quicket Solutions is our e-citation ticketing program was about $24,000. So these were items that are more than likely they're all contracted rates.
Correct.
that
Right.
we're paying the second year, but because they're more than $20,000, they
gotta get board approval.
They come before the board. Yeah.
And that was it.
That was it. We had nothing from the village administrator except for executive session. Nothing from the attorney or the clerk. And we went into executive session for land acquisition or sale of property and personnel, and then a discussion about minutes.
That was it.
That was it.
Even with all the pomp and circumstance last night, it wasn't a crazy long board meeting. So.
No, it was actually.
But a lot got done.
A lot got
Set
done.
us up for the year.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. So that was it.
That was it. What else is this weekend? Anything this weekend? It's Mother's Day. Don't forget.
It is Mother's Day weekend.
Okay.
And prom at MHS.
Prom is the weekend of Mother's Day?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's weird because usually, like, I'm old though, but like you would do something this Sunday after prom. Or is prom on a Friday?
Prom's Friday night.
Okay, there we go. That's how old I am. 1,000 years old.
1,000. Awesome.
All right. Take
Well,
care. Enjoy the weather.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Whew. Did you poop?